88 Films.
Skate the gatekeeper.
All right, we're back. Store credit. Who knows what episode we're in?
Loki, we should know, bro.
We should know, but fuck it. We work a lot. I have my co-host Andy,
That's good.
and then today we have a longtime friend, a very, 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 very I really wanted to do this podcast just because I think skate is, I would say, like an encyclopedia of sneakers. We have Skate the Great.
Yeah.
What up, y'all?
What up, Skate? Quick, we'll right to it. We're gonna do a quick fit check. So you're gonna stand up right here,
Bet.
move over Cindy, and then just talk to the camera.
Yeah. You can take the mic too, so you can break it down. Let the people know.
We're going feet first. Feet first. We got 1999 Team Red Dunk Lows. Beam Japan socks underneath there. You can see that. These are fucking $20 Gap cargos I found at the flea market.
Easy.
Nothing. Nirvana tee reprint, not an OG. Just in case people are really
You don't want to get butchered out there.
ain't know about that. I know. This is vintage Lee Jean Storm Rider jacket.
Jeez.
With the blanket liner.
Yes, sir.
Turquoise piece. And fitted from Locker Room of Downey. Shout out to Locker Room. Yeah. Oh, and I got my Syndicate pen right here too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Briss.
All right.
Next up.
All right.
Calm.
I'm wearing my Smoke Dior's. I don't know if Skate is a fan of how I treat my shoes.
Definitely not.
Supreme socks. Balenciaga work pants that I overpaid
Damn.
for. Bjork vintage tee that the homie hooked it up with this weekend. And released, it was unreleased when we shot this, but released Princess Diana Forever Loved hoodie.
Easy.
Zip up that I just want to go pick up.
All right.
Yep.
Cachucha.
What am I wearing? The classic store credit.
New one coming soon.
New one coming soon this month.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Big release. And Andy.
Yeah, big release. All right, next up. Starting from the bottom. All right, first, we got bread ones, smoked as well. I skated in these a little bit. What's up, Cindy? The 12-13 overpants dropped already. Just a regular Target tee. Hey, a lot of people don't like to say if it's from Target or from Walmart. Target tee.
Target
Target tee.
Make it fancy.
And then we got the same 12-13 18-ounce hoodie soon. And then unreleased Syndicate hat. I don't know if we're going to drop it. We're going to do another one. I don't know about this one. But yeah, that's what I got on today.
Yo, shout out Target.
Target.
Shout out Costco. They sell really good like cargos there. I'm not going to lie.
Low key. They do.
But yeah, we'll get right into it, Skate. What was like the first shoe that I would say got you into sneakers and you were like, all right, this is a thing for me now?
I mean, I've been in it since like elementary school, but I feel like fuck, I don't know. Man, Jordan, I mean, junior high, just seeing like the kicks and stuff like Jordan was wearing like in the games and stuff, but just being around more people and, seeing what everybody's style was, like, you didn't always have to wear Jordans, but I mean, you had Deion Sanders, you had Barry Sanders, you had the all kind of cross trainers, Air Maxes and stuff like that. But it was definitely just seeing everybody's style, and it kind of like I think I'm in this, and it was definitely like Jordan 13 was like the Jordan I bought like with my own money. And I'm like, all right, this is what I'm into right here.
Nice. There's a famous picture of you. Well, I think it's famous because you posted here and there of wearing like the big jersey. I think, what is it, Flu Game 12s maybe? Or what shoes was it?
Yeah, if you're talking about the one where the brick walls against
the back.
it. Yeah.
What year was that?
That was that had to be the year that retro, so that had to be like 03 retro for that black and red Jordan 12. That was at El Camino College, and the homegirls always had like the disposable cameras or like cameras and just always taking pictures and stuff. So shout out to them for for always copping those like disposable cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, authentic Jordan away jersey, like a Nike cut, so it was like super long, really long. I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still a dress on me, but
Yeah.
it was like way down there.
Yeah.
And then the Sean John shorts that stopped like at my ankle.
Yo.
That was a fit.
Yeah. And then it always had like our folders had that little clear little piece on it, so
Yeah.
you can always stick in like a new type of picture or something.
Yeah.
So of course I had the 97 Jordan like bent over with the same
same shoes?
shoe on. Yeah.
So at that point you were in college, and then I saw the other podcast you did. You talked about technically reselling shoes out of lids, or what was it?
Yeah.
What were you reselling? Like, what shoes were you reselling at that point?
This was the kind of 2004, 2005. So definitely pink box a little bit, but then it started getting into the black box.
Yeah.
So I had diamonds. I definitely had diamonds. I had like 7 pair of diamonds. The store had got their shipment after everybody else had got theirs. And we just had the homie just hook us up, and started, I think maybe with the diamonds or maybe a couple shoes before that, but I had diamonds, I had Sin Helps, I had high hairs, I had what was another black box? The Brute
Yeah.
cologne ones. A lot of the black box ones I did have, and I was like reselling out of the shop. But it was just a time where people just didn't know where to find any of those sneakers. Like that's when people used to really come up to like, "Yo, where did you get your shoes?"
Yeah.
And nowadays it's not like that at all. But like back then, you just have to lie to people. If you didn't want them to know like where you got it from, you just be like, "I got it from Korea or
The plug.
The store.
Bangladesh or something like that." Like something you know, like no one's gonna find it.
So the skate shop homie, was this like, because obviously your name is Skate and you said you worked at a skate shop, was this like a friend through that, or this was just another skate shop, or what was it for the diamonds that hooked you up?
This was just through just the store.
Yeah.
We used to go to Brea, the city of Brea, for the old dunk exchanges.
Yeah.
He used to hold it at this place called Bar 330 in Fullerton. And after the events, like it was, Brea's right there next to Fullerton, so either we were going to the Hat to get pastrami fries or something like that, or we would go across the street to where Active Skatewear or Active Skate Shop, or Ride Shop or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was like our spot right there.
Nice. So obviously this is way further, but like seeing that Tiffany dunk and having so many pairs, what is your honest opinion about the Tiffany Air Force that they just like leaked out?
Oh yeah.
It's not bad. It would have been dope if like Nick's shoe was like an actual collab like with Tiffany. Then like that would be, I don't know, that'd be dope if they can like do official collab and then maybe add a little bit more detail to it. But I mean, to me, it looks a little simple. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if that's like, is that like a suede or something that's on that shoe, or if it.
I don't know, but I heard retail's gonna be like $400.
Yeah, that's what the A-Links go for too. Like the retail for $400 too. The one with the Air Force with the big buckle on it. Yeah, those retail for like $400 too.
Yeah, because I saw it, and I saw Matt Welty tweet that Nick Diamond did a better Tiffany shoe than Tiffany did himself, and I was just like, "Yo, facts!"
Yeah,
like,
I'd have to agree with
it was
that.
like, I want to hear the story behind it and why they did that. So right now, I can't be too judgy of it, but right now, for me, it just looks like a custom that you could do on like Nike ID right now.
Yeah,
obviously, way better quality. And then now touching back on the Send Help, it's funny because a couple weeks ago you came in and I'm like, yo, no, not Send Help, High Hair.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, why is this shoe called this? And then you schooled me on it. And this is what, 20 years later almost?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, you learn something new every day.
Right,
I
right.
literally didn't know what that shoe was.
Yeah, it was definitely dedicated to like the high hair of like the 80s.
Yeah.
And Aquanet was like that spray that they use. So that's why the shoe is aqua and has like that netting around the aqua.
Nice.
Yeah. So would you say like you started getting into shoes because you just genuinely liked the shoe, or was it just like the movement you saw with it?
Nah, I mean, definitely was like Jordan. Like, oh, these gonna help me fly.
Yeah.
Is this gonna help me on the ball court? Like, I mean, I kind of felt like it did, but like my mom, my grandparents probably didn't really think it did because like, why are these shoes costing so much money?
Yeah.
But it was definitely just like Jordan, you know, wearing something like doing all these moves, and I was like, damn, when are these coming out, or when is this one dropping? Or, so it was definitely like from Jordan for sure. Too.
Yeah, and I even feel like stuff like that where you got inspired from the actual player that was wearing the shoe. And I think as of now, a lot of people are getting inspired, not even from the player, but just like, oh, I saw Travis Scott wear it. I saw this person wear it. Like, how do you feel about, I guess, the current sneaker market right now, as in, you know, the influencers buying stuff, whether it's Pandas or, you know, any type of Jordan. Like, what do you think about it now compared to back then, like how it was?
It's totally different now, like compared to like back then, because like the only media outlet was like through Nike commercials or a random ad or something like that, and you would only see the athlete wear that shoe. Like you wouldn't really see like celebrities like that wearing it unless you were watching. I mean, I can go back to like the first Bad Boy movie. Will Smith is rocking like the OG Junior Seas in that movie, like running up and down the block. But we already knew Junior Seas was the person, and he had a shoe. But other than that, it was like MTV Rock and Jock. I don't know if you guys remember that back in the day. Like MTV Rock and Jock was like they would team up like professional athletes with singers or magicians or actors, and they'd be out there like balling, like either playing basketball, playing football, or baseball, softball. Like all these people like coming together, like just playing and having a good time. You would see like a lot of those people like wearing like those type of shoes too.
Yeah, for me, I feel like obviously it's like I started paying attention to like Fresh Prince later, and then seeing Will Smith wear all the Jordans. Literally, to me, that was like a big influence. So what you would say is like people watch certain TV, and then obviously seeing Michael, because I feel like even me with my era, I'm a little younger than you slightly, and I didn't really get Michael too much where I paid attention, but I got like the 16s, 17s era. And to me, like the 17s were crazy, but it must be crazier to you seeing him wear like the 11s, like actually paying attention. When did you like, what was the first year that you actually started paying attention to like Michael Jordan, obviously, like that you were like, oh, his shoes, like where it was just like, okay, like his shoes are something.
Yeah. Definitely that 1991 NBA Finals, like playing against the Lakers. Because, like, my mom was, like, a diehard Laker fan. Like, so once, like, the Bulls are, like, playing the Lakers in the finals, like, I just hear my mom, like, yelling, like, what is he doing? Why is he jumping? Guard him, dude. Like, but, like, you just see him in the air just, like, doing all these moves, and it's like, damn, like, what's that shoes he got on? Those are pretty dope. And I would definitely have to say, like, the Jordan 6, like, the black infrared, the white infrared, seeing him just ball out against the Lakers, demolishing.
Yeah, literally, bro, demolish.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool because it's like it's crazy to like bring you on here because in my head I'm just like, yo, this guy has literally 91. You said was like when you first started paying attention to what Michael was wearing, literally. And then now in 2023, I still think we're in 22, and it's, how do I say it? Like you've seen almost every trend come and go.
Yeah.
What pre-2010s, what do you think was your favorite era of like what you were wearing personally and why? Like what was like made you think like, oh, like, all right, I'm fresh, or like I do this?
Facts.
Man, it was, I mean, high school years for sure. Like once I got like my first job, in ninth grade, and like I didn't really have any other responsibilities, so like I could just blow my whole check on Jordans, Nikes, Polo, Calvin Klein, DKNY. That I was just blowing my money because like I didn't have any bills or nothing like that. So, man, I mean, it was a time like I bought like an Averex jacket like in 99, 2000. Like I had to put that thing on layaway because it was like so much money. Man, I mean, the early 2000s were crazy because just like, you know, $300 on like a Michelin Ness jersey, just like almost a long dress, almost, and then like super baggy shorts, white on white Air Forces, or even like we saw Jadakiss's video, Knock Yourself Out, and he had like the Gucci on the check, and we were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I went and found like my mom's Louis purse and like cut that shit up and did the check, the toe box, everything. Took it to like used to be a little shoe place called Shoe Whiz. He'd just come and like stitch over it.
Was she pissed?
Huh?
Was she pissed?
Oh, she was hot.
What was your train of thought when you were like, yo, I'm gonna steal?
It was like in the closet, like underneath something. Like, I'm like, oh, she's not worried about this.
She won't know it. She took it.
Until that one day she went looking for it and it was like, oh shit.
And she saw it on the check.
I'm like, we got some air.
I remember you were big like on NikeTalk.
Yeah.
When did you get into NikeTalk and how did that get introduced to you?
I got introduced to NikeTalk just from being on other websites like air23.com and which later on turned into 23isback.com because like he had came out of retirement again to play, so like the dude like switched his I think his website, but I used to go there to find out like what he already had like a list of Jordans that were already like coming out. So I was like, damn, like this is like the whole year almost. I'm like, oh, now I know when to like stack my bread, save my money, because on this date, like this is when they're dropping. And then I think it was like a link or something that just showed me something about this NikeTalk place, and like I clicked on it, and all I saw was this black screen, and it was just like, shit, what the fuck is this? So it was just like all these different trends and threads of just like
everything.
So like you had your spot, you had your forum where everybody just cared about getting dressed, and then you had your forum of just about what they picked up for the month, and then you had like the general forum where it was like ruthless, cutthroat, whatever's going on. Like I seen so much shit go down in that general forum where it's like, if you're not built for this, like don't even come in here.
You remember that pic of the finger that it was like see-through, and it was like, I don't know, Manny remembers it. It was disgusting. I used to hate it, bro. It was a guy with his finger and it was cut inside, and it was on Nike. It was big on NikeTalk or ISS maybe.
Fuck.
And it was like his finger, and people would just post it randomly through a thread. And I hated this picture so much. And Manny knew.
He's good looking for it.
Knew that.
I'd have to see it.
Yeah, it was like it was just a finger, a guy with a finger. Like maybe he puts like NikeTalk like
what was it
finger
for,
image, bro. I don't know. It's disgusting. This guy's finger. Oh, that, bro. I hate that shit. Bro, you remember
show skate. What is that, bro?
Bro, that was disgusting. I still
Just
hate it to this day. People would just post it on the thread.
What the fuck?
Bro,
is that
bro,
like
I don't
teeth
know.
or like
I don't know. It was like supposedly the inside of it.
Bro, that shit was disgusting.
I don't know.
It was like on Soul Collector, and Soul Collector
It
maybe
looked like
NikeTalk.
teeth around of it. Like it looked like he got mouths on this.
Bro, that I remember it would randomly be on the "What did you wear today" thread or like something, and out of nowhere that shit would pop out, and Manny be like, "Yo, come here, look at this fit" or something like that, and I'll be like, "Bro, stop showing me this shit. I've seen it a million times."
I can honestly say I've never seen that picture. I've never seen that.
It was like it could have been Soul Collector.
If you're gonna say like Tiffany Kid or
no, Tiffany Kid was huge, but I remember I hated that image, and because to me it scarred me. Like I was just like, "Yo, this fucking image is disgusting."
Yeah.
So did you? Because for me, when I came onto the scene or like into this like world, everything was already there.
Yeah.
Like NikeTalk, Soul Collector. So can you like enlighten the people of like the difference between like NikeTalk and Soul Collector? Because I remember we would do Soul Collector, and people on NikeTalk didn't like Soul Collector, and why was that?
Just think about like NikeTalk being rated R and
Bro.
Soul Collector being like PG-13,
Yeah.
like PG-17
Yeah.
maybe. But like it was just night and day difference.
Yeah.
And literally just because NikeTalk screen is super black and then Soul Collector is just
It's like
bright.
gray, green.
Yeah, it's just bright over there. But when you at NikeTalk, you on NikeTalk late at night, lights off, black screen, red writing,
Yeah.
and you just in there in the trends.
Yeah, because I remember, like you saying 23 is back. I remember me and Manny would get on that, and we would know. And we were, what, 15, 16 maybe?
Yeah.
And we were just like, damn. So we would pick maybe 2 drops out of the year because we were getting lunch money to buy these shoes.
Yeah.
So we would be like, all right, this is coming out this month, and this is coming out this month. Where were your headed at? Was it like, I'm getting everything, or was it?
Nah, it was still like, I think I was still kind of, I was still in high school. So it was like either go buy a brand new pair of dice and get in the bathroom and start shooting dice and gambling to make like the
money.
extra bread. If you knew some juice was coming out and you want, like, that
Did
was
you,
our way.
wait, you really did that?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever like what was the most you won in a dice game?
Like 150.
And then you took that and went to go buy a shoe or something.
Like, well, like take the 150, go have a fat lunch.
Okay, yeah.
At the cafeteria. So like we had Pizza Hut or Domino's delivered to the school.
Bro.
And then we had like, you guys ever heard of Fruitopia?
No. What was that?
Oh, Fruitopia was like this drink that was like a fruit cocktail almost, but like crazy conjunctions of flavors and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But this was like, that was like the drink of the time. And then like bag of chips and then a snack. And then like you were balling if
Yeah.
you had a Subway sandwich or if you had Domino's or Pizza Hut
lit, yeah.
with chips and snacks and a drink, that
were
was
lit.
like you spent a good $6.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, and then after that, you would you ever use that gambling money to go get a shoe?
Yeah, after
Okay,
that,
okay,
and like after school was out, then it was like either go to the local swap meet,
Okay.
who normally would have the shoe early, and they were probably charging a little bit more than retail.
Okay.
But that's if you really were trying to stunt, like you would go buy from the swap meet and then just go before. If you had it before release date, you were the man. Like you had the school on lock for at least that day.
Yeah, because I remember what I feel like this generation doesn't remember mom and pop shops and the swap meets. And I remember there was a couple swap meets in Bell that the same thing. They had them like 2 weeks early, and then there was this store in East LA. I forgot what street it was, but same thing. They had it 2 weeks early, and they weren't charging crazy. They were charging like $40, $50 over retail, but at that time, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I remember I would get $5 every day for school. Every day. So I knew like, all right, I'm in January. This shoe's coming out in fucking June. If I do my math right and I spend, then I'm just like, I will this day have yay money to buy this pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And I remember same thing. Like we would go on like our Melrose trip or a Fairfax trip on the bus, and then we would buy a certain thing. All of us would do our little calculations of like, all right, this T-shirt's costing this much. I need $5 for the bus pass. And then I'm gonna have $5 to eat, dollar menu.
I mean, you had to have it down to a T. Like you had to know how much tax was, everything. Like it had to be down like to the T. Like if you try to, even like with shoes, like if you try to buy extra laces and like you want to buy these extra laces, I'm like, no, I only got the $152.17 for this.
Yeah, and for those that don't remember,
crazy.
Foot Locker back in the day, you would buy the Jordan and it would give you all these options of shoelaces that you could switch over. Some of them had two-tone laces,
speckle laces,
rope
yeah.
laces. So I remember just like waiting in line, and it was always with Manny, where we would be in front. And I remember the craziest ones for us was the $310 CDP packs 2008.
Yeah.
Where we were just like, yo, hey, you want to split this shoe, but you're gonna get the ugly one, and I'm gonna get the better one, because saving $310 when you're in high school is insane.
That's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like pre 2010, and I remember we met. What was it? 2012, 2013, maybe.
Probably around
Riff,
that time.
like
Yeah.
Riff era.
Yeah.
How did you find out about Riff, and when did you start coming to Riff and stuff like that?
Found out about Riff. I think it was through NikeTalk as well, because Nike in one of the forums for NikeTalk, somebody actually took the time to list every single shoe store in Southern California.
Jeez.
And it's like every single store that you can eat. Man's Land, Warehouse Shoe Sale, to Gray One, to Riff.
Yeah.
And I think, it was definitely through NikeTalk on that. And that's how I ended up finding Riff. And some of these other guys who were at Riff or shopping at Riff, they were also members on NikeTalk too.
Yeah, because I feel like that era was like, if you knew, you knew. I
Yeah.
remember we found Riff. I don't know how did we find Riff? I don't know, right? Like, I don't know, but I remember one of the biggest things for us, Riff. I don't know if you remember, Riff was listed as a retailer for Yeezy Ones.
Okay.
I don't know why or how they
What
were
the
listed.
fuck?
Yeah, you remember that?
Come
They
get
were,
your Yeezy ones.
Yeah, it was like Yeezy Ones retail. And obviously, this is before we fucking worked there. This was 08 maybe.
Yeah.
And we started going there around that time. And I remember just going in there and seeing Jeff and Ed only. And what was the other dude's name? Yeah.
Materialistic.
So it was like 3 of them that would always be there. Yeah. So they found out about it. They're like, oh, this little shop. And I remember it was like where you could find all the steals. Like literally $80 to $120 good Jordans. So that's how we came about it. So when you went, what did you think of Riff? Or like, what was it that gravitated you? Like, okay, it's a cool store.
I think it was just the fact that they were the only store that was going to have that Atmos Air Max. I think that's mainly why maybe my first time going in there, or maybe my first time actually buying something out of there. But I believe it was at the Clear Jade Air Max 1 with the elephant print on it.
The teal.
Yeah.
That's so funny because the day I met you was that other Atmos, the camo,
The duck camo.
the duck camo, and the tiger camo. And I remember, I don't know how Jeff did it, but I never asked questions. He was just like, "Yo, we got a certain amount of pairs of these, and we're gonna be the only store in the States to have them." And
Yeah.
obviously, we're selling them at resale. And I remember you came in, and I think we were all there. And then John Lee was just like, "I think your pairs were already to the side and everything." And John Lee's like, "Oh, don't worry, he's good." I don't know if he prepaid or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I remember you came in, and I was just like, "Who is this guy?" Like, because I was just like, this guy just cut the line, walked in, did his thing. This is before that was like, to me, was a thing, like cutting lines and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think I had a little bit of a following on the early Instagram days, but I definitely had knew Jeff and Ed by the time that shoe was coming out. And I think the guys even had like t-shirts maybe not t-shirts for that one. I think it was for the next Atmos one after that one.
Yeah, we did the Riff with the camo inside.
Yeah.
No, I remember Riff was a time because I what people don't understand is like how obviously you didn't need a job or anything because you were doing pretty well, obviously with your job and your career, but it was funny when you would come in on Saturdays, jam packed. Riff was like, if people don't know, Riff was the spot. Like
Riff was the hangout.
It was the hangout. No lines, and if the store was packed, we never started a line. It was just like free for all. Like the store was like cooked sometimes, packed. And I remember you would come in, and you would sit right next to us, right there. Well, not sit, but stand. And then even you were doing like little work, like helping customers.
I was either because I know y'all never like to answer the damn phone.
Yeah.
So, so either I would answer the phone, or I would go help look for a box because like sometimes people didn't know what box a certain shoe would come in. And I'm like, oh, that's the face box. Oh, that's all silver box. Oh no, that's the new gray and silver box. So like I would know like what box to look for, like for certain Jordans and stuff. So I would definitely be either picking up the phone or trying to help find a shoe.
All right, expand on that a little bit. What was the phone situation? Oh, hold on. Wait. Before that, I think we got to take a little break, and then we'll have you explain all that.
Yeah.
All right.
With the Nike,
Yeah.
with the phone.
All right, cool. So we're back. Like you were saying, you were in Riff doing, were you like clocking in 8-hour shift sometimes?
Bro, like I'd walk in and it was go time as soon as I get as soon
So explain the phone situation.
I didn't have like a set time when I got there. I just like I'd wake up, lay my outfit grid out for the day, take my pictures, do what I need to do, ship out what I need to ship, or just get it together and then just make my way downtown. And as soon as you got there, like it wasn't just like just chilling, like you got to work.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say let's go back a little bit. The outfit thing was that because I remember around that time I've seen there was a thing called outfit grid where people would lay it out. Is that what you're talking about? And you would take a pic.
Yeah. Outfit
So
grid.
were you big on Instagram around this time? Like not saying obviously like big, but like were you into it a lot?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was definitely like using like all the like every piece of it I could. Like
Nice.
I'm showing like older Jordans. I'm showing my collection. My pickups. I'm kind of doing my same format like what I would do on NikeTalk on Instagram, because I feel like Instagram is just going to be like the next generation of NikeTalk, just like showing our pickups, showing our outfits, and just talking shit and posting food or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had found like Instagram. I mean, I found like outfit grid on Instagram, and I was like, oh, everybody on here who's winning these outfits for the day, like damn, like I feel like I can get down on this, and I just started getting involved in that. Like I was already laying out my outfits every damn day anyway. So I'm like, oh, you want me to take a picture of it like this too? Like that's no problem.
Yeah.
And I would even say, sorry to cut you off, but I would even say for something like that, was there ever a part of you feeling, because I know the same thing with like TikTok, some people are like, I can't do that, blah, blah. Was there ever a part of you when you were doing Instagram like, fuck, like what are people going to think of me? Or you kind of like, I don't care, I'm going to just do it?
Nah, only thing with Instagram was just more about like actually showing my face. Because like on NikeTalk, a lot of people just like they cut their face off. They'll post a picture like from like the chin down,
showing the
or
fit.
like shout out to Z OG NikeTalk. He had like the edited version, like he like blur out his face.
Yeah.
So but most people just never would show their face really. But like on Instagram, it was like, all right, well, I guess I just gotta show my face now.
Yeah.
So in the early days of Instagram, it was just shoe pics. Like people didn't know they didn't know what color I was.
Yeah.
They didn't know what I was.
No, yeah, I remember when you would come in Riff, same thing. We would all say, you put your outfit grid, and we're like, that's what Skate's wearing today, blah blah blah. But it was funny because like you were one of like I remember the NikeTalk denim and all that stuff coming about. You were one of the few sneakerheads that I personally knew that I was just like, yo, this guy like he knows how to dress. Like he's not just buying Jordans and putting on a NikeTalk denim. And you would wear good denim and stuff like that. And that's obviously like the Riff era started when I said like Ed put me onto good jeans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because literally we would be like, Skate's coming. Or we would even say like sometimes like one of us would call off or be hungover and we would be like, oh, Skate's going to be here in a bit. Like we're good. Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I remember the phone thing. We had a phone, and this is why no stores have phone, I feel like now, because that shit would ring non-stop at Riff. So can you explain to them what you would do? Like, what's some of your tasks at Riff were coming in on a Saturday?
I mean, like, as soon as the phone rings, I was like, Riff LA, what's up? And they either be like calling, they definitely be calling about either a shoe that maybe just released or maybe something that they seen on the website, I believe.
Yeah.
So they'd ask to see if it's still in store or something like that. Were people calling too about like seeing if their shoe sold or something like that?
Consignment was a big like, hey, can you check if my shoe sold?
Yeah.
Nah.
And they're like, that to be a dick. There'll be times where like there'll be like $3,000-$4,000, and again it would be like, yeah, one shoe sold.
Yo.
Bro, that shit was crazy. Like,
But people were like going like, what on the I can't find it on the website.
Bro. or even like sometimes again like this
That's
is
insane.
so what people don't know, the back end of Riff, what was it? Japanese, like the whole back end. So we didn't know. So Ed and Jeff taught us what to press, and you had to remember a process of what to press to upload a shoe to Riff.
Nah.
So because we couldn't read it.
You know what that site used to be, right?
Yeah, nap size.
Yeah. I used to try to buy so many shoes off of that
Yeah.
site.
So for people that don't know, nap size ended up what become Worm.
I believe so.
Yeah. So that was like their sister store in Japan. And Napsize low-key had better prices than
Facts.
Riff, but you could never navigate through it. So I remember just clicking it, and then I remember even Manny taught me the process of like what to click and blah blah blah, and I'll just be like, bro, like what the fuck? Like
I was just like trying to find like where is the translation button?
yeah, I
on
didn't
this
have
thing?
that either.
That's crazy.
But another cool thing that I feel like I seen you go to Japan with them first. That was your first time, right?
That was my first trip to Japan was meeting up with them. I had my flights mixed up. We both had the same flight number, but mine was the day after theirs. So like I remember I think it was Ed or Jeff calling me like, "Where you at? Where you at?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm at the house." Like, "What's up?" He's like, "We're at the airport. What are you doing?" I'm like, "My flight's not till tomorrow." Yeah. He's like, "Oh no, you got the wrong flight." I was like, well, shit, I'll see you guys tomorrow."
Yeah. So how was that? Like, how was your first trip to Japan? Because I've noticed that you've made it a thing to keep going. So like, how was that experience?
It was mind blowing. Like that was like my first time like really leaving the country. Like besides like going to Mexico, like Puerto Vallarta, but like actually like being on a plane for 11 hours. Oof. And just nonstop, just on the plane.
Yeah.
So it was something I've been looking forward to because like I had took the language in high school and college too, so I knew just a little bit of it. But actually being able to use it over there and then being so obsessed with the culture anyway in Japan, like my older cousins put me on like Dragon Ball like early, and I was like, oh shit, this is dope. So it was definitely like as soon as I landed and I just seen like the lights and everything, it was just like a I don't know, it was just like a kid. I was just like, oh my god, like this is the spot right here.
What was like the biggest culture shock you saw from obviously going from the States to Japan?
I was just so shocked at how clean it was and like how organized they are. Like there's like if there's no to little bit of crime besides like organized crime, and you're definitely far away from that part as far as like you probably won't even pay attention to it like it happening if you are around it. But their cleanliness, the way how organized they are, like they just have like little ideas about everything, and it's like nobody in the US thinks about like wrapping your shopping bag like with wrap around it so it doesn't get wet from the rain. Like nobody here would ever take the time to actually sit there and do that, something like that. Like just like here's your bag, go. So it was just little things like that, and it's like their toilets are amazing. Like they got the seat warmers on the toilet. They got like they got the little
the bidet.
They got that hooked up to it. Like you just press a button and it's like shooting. Then this is a public bathroom. Like you can come out clean. Like you're good.
That's sick.
It was funny because I remember that trip, and we all remember it because Jeff and Ed came back like changed men. They came back and they're like, no phones, no music in the store. You guys can't talk to each other because I guess they went to the stores over there, and I guess that's how it was.
Yeah, I mean, the stores are most of the stores, especially like Visvum. It's like very quiet. It's very calm.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their hands behind their backs, and they're just waiting on you to tell them what to go get. They're just waiting on you. Like there's no conversating. No, they have no phones out. No, their focus is on the customer.
Yeah, but see, I think like that over here didn't really transition because during the Riff era, Riff was different than what we're at now, and we were like like streetwear at that time because it was obviously there wasn't so many shops. It was just like Riff, Flight Club here. Fuck, who knows? After that, Soul Stage came kind of late, like
Holy Grail.
But I remember that just didn't transition well to the U.S. customer because, bro, we were already known to be mean at Riff. Bro, like, Manny was a movie at Riff. Riff was...
All three of you motherfuckers together? Oh, my God. Movie. I don't know what WWE, like, group to put you guys on. I don't know if you're DX or what, but all three of you together, it was a fucking problem in the store. Like...
What was like one of your? I would say, okay, to the people, what was one of your memories that you just clearly remember that you were like, I can't believe I just saw this.
This fucking guy right here,
Manny. He's pointing at Manny.
Manny. So I would say 3 or 4 young black males came into the store with lots of product.
Okay.
And they were just like, we want to sell this.
Yeah.
And then Manny's like, bet. So Manny's just like,
The numbers.
doing little numbers, calculates it, and he was like, gives him a kind of a low figure a little bit, and then like, they was like, can you make it cash? And I think Manny does like this little like walk away, like he's gonna think about it, but he already knows like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Does it, like gives them cash, and then like they split the cash up between them, and then they fucking all break and go like separate ways out of the store. And then we're just like, this shit's stolen. All this shit, they fucking they ran up in somebody's crib.
You were there when you saw that?
From the product, yeah, and the way that they were acting, it was just like, cause like I mean, like normally, like if they're writing a check, it got we need your ID, you need this, and it's like, oh no, we don't have no bank account, we ain't got none of this.
Yeah,
so,
with cash right now.
Yeah, cash. So man, it was like, okay.
Did anybody ever come like and ask for it, or it was just a clean
Nah.
slate after that?
Nah, it was it. Whoever took the L, they just had to chalk it up.
Yeah.
Son, that's crazy.
Yeah, speaking like on that, I remember that fucked us in New York, around to New York.
Mm-hmm.
We never asked for ID or nothing at the start. We were just like buying shoes left and right. One day, and it's funny, I came back from London, like 2 p.m., get on Uber to the Lower East Side, and I'm walking in, and all I hear is, who's the manager? And everybody, as I'm walking in from London, every fucking employee points at me, and DC was on break, so he wasn't there. Everybody points at me, and I'm like, what's going on? And like 4 dudes come up to me, and they're like, yo, like, we need to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. Undercovers. They're full feds.
Oh wow.
Narcs.
So they came to sell stolen merchandise to round 2. And the way, and it was funny because it was Amir was at the counter because he was the secondary buyer at the time. Amir bought all this stuff from them, and the guy was just like, oh, it's hot, by the way. And then Amir's like, yeah, it's hot. You know, like,
Oh my god,
bro.
This shit lit.
Bro, so whatever. So Amir pays him out, and all I see is Amir getting fucking taken out in handcuffs. And then the officers talking to me, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna shut this whole thing down.
Nah.
Like the store's cooked. Like you guys buying stolen merchandise. We heard about you guys, and we're like, we don't know if it's stolen. Like, how can we be judges?" And they're like, "Oh, you guys have to judge people and blah blah blah." This is the cops telling us this stuff. So they were like, "You guys can either get shut down or you guys go in a program where you guys have to check IDs and you guys gotta fill out forms that you guys gotta turn in to NYPD every month." So it made our job way harder. But obviously after that, when you pull out this book that literally said NYPD and something was stolen, I would literally see like certain people would be like, "No, I'm good. Like I'm not gonna sell because probably stolen." But I remember it made our job so hard. This is obviously like 8 years later.
You had to get descriptions of the items that they were.
You had to
dropping
write
off.
what they brought in, the SKU. You had to take a picture of the person's ID. So I literally, like, we were like, bro, like, this is like a crazy violation to the customer, you know?
That's
like,
crazy,
and
bro.
you have to turn it into the police. And then they would never look at it, but they said they would look at it. But I remember even this one time, we thought we got off easy. And then we posted a Presto, and they came in and they confiscated it. And they were just like, "Oh, it's stolen." And they showed us like the fucking report of that exact shoe being stolen the night before. So we thought, it was funny because we thought they returned this stuff. Later on, my homegirl tells me like, yeah, everything they confiscate from stores, they do an auction and, you know, they buy it within themselves. And I was just like, motherfuckers.
My homegirl, she came up like on a pair of dead stock Supreme SB Dunk Lows, the OG one, from a police auction because they took the car and inside whatever was in the car, like they
Auctioned it off.
auctioned it off.
Bro.
That's actually crazy.
I think she won that auction on their website for like $200, $250, something like that.
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, this like this is like Travis Scott, like heavy SB, like a year and a half ago, like crazy price.
Influence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it DS?
Yes.
Fuck.
With still attached, with the extra black laces still attached to it.
That's crazy. So now where do you see the sneaker game going? That's something that I want to talk about because we just did the last podcast of like stuff like that. Like, what is your take on where the sneaker game is right now? Like, do you still enjoy it, or are you still like a big fan of it? Obviously, you do still buy shoes, but like, what's your simple take on it?
It is a bit of a drought right now, or a recession, as you would put it. But if you're in it to like really collect, like it's actually a good time for you because prices are low, people are trying to dump and just get rid of product if they've been holding on for it too long, or if they need the money for something else. So if you are a real collector and it's items out there that you were thinking about purchasing when SBs was like at its all-time high a couple years ago, and like stuff's coming down, like now's a good time to buy.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something. As we all see, like the resellers and shops closing down, like it just shows you like people just weren't really paying attention or weren't prepared for what was imminently. I mean, it was coming. It was, every bubble was going to burst.
Yeah. And how would you compare that, like what's happening now, to what happened like in 2008, 2009? Is there anything that you see that are similar, or do you think it's like completely different?
It's still different, but just because the prices for shoes in 2009 was nowhere near what prices for shoes go for now. Like the max resale 2009 was probably like 1,000. Yeah. Max, and that was probably for like a what the dunk.
A grail. Yeah, it was grails. Yeah, I remember.
I mean, Freddy's were probably going for like 1,000. Nothing I don't think was really maxed over
what's happening right now.
Yeah. Like 1,000 was just already like
too much.
Yeah, you're way beyond. But like now 1,000 is like that could be. I mean, these new threes could be coming out that could probably end up hitting for 1,000. Who knows?
No, yeah, the market's very different, and obviously you've seen it all. Like I remember Jeff had a ton of what are they called, undefeated fours. Yeah. And I remember I didn't fit in 11, but I remember he offered me DC and Manny. He just says like, "Hey, I have an extra pair. Who wants it? $2,000." And we were all just like, $2,000? You're tweaking. So we're just like, nope, we're not taking it. And then like literally 2 years later, like towards the end of our time there, I've seen the M&M, which is the blue one, sell for $30,000 cash in our face. The guy came with a briefcase. These dudes met him up for the shoe. I don't know how the hell it happened, but I remember I just seen it and I was just like...
Was it Jackie?
No, it wasn't Jackie Jin.
Shout out to Jackie. Wherever he's at, shout out to him.
Jackie Jin. Good times. But yeah, it was just like weird how the transaction happened. They went into a truck right in front of Riff. The dude came out and he like, after he gave him the 30,000, he's just like, yo, look what I got. And we were just like...
Bruh. Sick.
But yeah, I remember grails were $300 in that recession.
Yeah.
Like anything $300, you were getting something in there. Obviously, there's some $300 shoes in there, but I feel like now your general entry shoe starts $250. Like if you want any shoe now.
So I would even say, obviously, you've been in the sneaker game for a very, very long time, getting inspired by Mike. Would you say like right now, if you're like a real sneakerhead and you want to get into it, right now is a good time to like buy up shoes that you've been like waiting for, especially during the pandemic and all that?
Yeah, I would say it is, but also be careful for what you're buying too. I mean, if the price is really, really too good, it might be a possibility that it could be a fake or a UA. Whatever term they're using these days. Just be careful, but I mean it is a good time to buy.
How do you even feel about that? Because like now I think all over TikTok it's like a thing now where I've seen it where it's like it's cool to buy like sneakers that are UA or whatever B grade and like from these sites that are cheap. Like how do you feel about stuff like that where now the fakes are almost just as good as the real ones?
I mean, it's crazy, but it's like, I mean, it's been a long time coming, like compared to what they used to look like in the 2000s. And like, I mean, even like a fake 94, like you could tell like from afar. Back then, you could just tell from afar
Yeah.
that shoe was fake just because of the colorway of the shoe.
Yeah.
But then like later on, like they just stopped doing crazy colors, and then it would just be okay. But that shape is off. Like that swoosh is
Little
right.
things.
Yeah. But then like. Now it's just like if you ain't got a black light, if you ain't got, if you're not putting it in a certain way like this, if it don't have a certain smell to it, if stuff like that is like it's like very little things where it's like you won't even know. If you didn't tell me if it wasn't fake, then a lot of people wouldn't know.
Yeah. Did you ever get caught up like buying one where you were like, oh shit, I didn't know?
Yeah.
And like what shoe was it?
This was I was celebrating 20 years of collecting, and I did a list of 20 shoes that I wanted to buy.
Okay.
And I bought a ice cream BBC Reebok.
Yeah.
The beeper. The beeper ones. I really wanted the beeper. I only like the beeper one. The money roll one's cool, but beeper was like my favorite flavor.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was a fake, and I posted it on IG.
Where'd you get it off of? Or
I got it off eBay.
Okay.
And then this is before they were doing their whole
The authentication, all that.
all that. But I mean, it had the box. The box looked good and everything, but I guess it was just a print that they used on it. It was like a mirror print. So like this, I guess both shoes shouldn't look exactly the same or something like that. But it was just like it wasn't right. So like somebody on IG hit me and was like, "Yo."
You posted them?
I posted on IG like, "Oh, my new pickup."
Yeah.
And I'm like, finally got these.
How much did you pay?
I think it was like $350 or $400.
Okay. But still, like for the.
But it was still. I still had enough time in a window where I was like, "Oh, I can send this back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as somebody told me what I need to look for on it, and I was like, "All right,
You're like, it's a dub.
yeah."
Damn.
So I was like, I sent it back. I took that post down, and, and I was like, I kind of got skits for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just was like, damn, like I almost got.
Yeah.
But before that, I blatantly had like a couple Jordans where it was like, this ain't coming out. Like I had all blue Jordan 8s before Dornbeckers and all that. Like I had some crazy colors like in the early 2000s. Like this is just like that's like probably Nice Kicks OG website where it's like that's where you used to buy the fakes from.
Yeah.
And it was like I just like all I knew was like, oh, these different colors. And like, why aren't these coming out yet? And so it was just like just place an order and buy one. So my cousin used to have a clothing store in Hawthorne, and he was just ordering a bunch of stuff. And we just thought we were lit because he was selling Jordans, and we were just selling Jordans. I wasn't really paying attention. Like, these are not real.
Like
reps.
It was like a trend. I remember people buying like the crazy colorful with the SpongeBob and all that stuff. It was just like a crazy trend.
I don't want to blame Fabulous, but I kind of blame Fabulous.
Well, yeah, it was everybody had like a role model or somebody they were like, yo, I need those and stuff like that. But it's like, I would say at that point, again, nobody knew. It was just like, oh, random colorways. The thing that you were talking about was that Skates 30 for 30? Or that was...
This was
before, right?
This was 20. I did a 20 for 20 after my 30 for 30. 30 is just... 30 was from me turning 30.
Yeah.
And the 20 was just for 20 years of collecting.
Because I remember the Skate 30 for 30 because we helped you get certain pairs. The Skate 30 for 30 was pairs that you've never owned, right?
Right.
Like,
shout out to Riff for that. I came up on so much shit. People thought I was like a drug dealer or something for all the shit I was coming home with. New pickup.
Yeah, I remember. So
much.
You brought a couple pairs to tell us, and obviously with the 30 for 30, can you bring out some pairs and tell us what they mean to you and stuff like that?
Yeah, I can do that.
30 for 30.
Is this before the ESPN 30 for 30? Or like
Nah.
It was. I was kind of going based off.
Yeah, but it's his take of the ESPN 30 for 30.
Yeah, I remember one of the funniest ones before he gets into it was we got a patent leather Jordan 1. The gold one with the speckled bottom. Expensive ass shoe. Whatever, but it was 100% real. But I guess it was like a factory defect or something like that where it came with like the liner was different on one of the shoes. Yeah. And you know, Skate is like mad articulate about like the shoe that he buys. He makes sure there's no glue stains, no nothing. And I remember we later found out, and he's like, "Yeah, you sold me a fake," and we're like, "Nah, blah blah blah." So us being the fucking idiots that we were like, "Yo, we sold you a fake pair of shoes."
They will
Blah,
not.
blah,
The shoe came out in 2013, and as you can see, 10 years later, they will still not let the situation die.
Yeah.
Oh, bruh.
Cool. So what you bring in today?
So this pair is special to me.
Man, hold it up to there.
So you guys probably should know this box. This is 1994, 1995, Jordan 1. This was one of my pickups when in Japan with Ed and Jeff.
The real good
Is
shit.
that DS? No, right?
No, I've worn it quite a
Yeah.
few times. Yeah,
How much did you pay for those when you went over there?
dead stock,
Yeah.
$500.
Bro.
Damn. How much are they going for now? Would you say?
Like dead stock, probably like people price like 3,000 to 4,
Yeah.
depending on the size.
The quality too.
Would there ever be a moment in time where you would sell them, or are you just gonna keep them, pass them on?
No, these
Never, ever.
nah.
Yeah.
But I've been through a couple pair of 94s.
Uh-huh.
So but this one I won't sell it.
Yeah. For the people who don't know, what's the reason why you put it in the Ziploc bag?
That's a NikeTalk thing. It's just like I just feel like it protects the shoes. I feel like it stops it from yellowing.
Yeah, like the oxidation or something.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I
Yeah.
used to put like the little silicate packs in there too, but
Yeah.
now I just put it in this.
Ziploc.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you saw how I treated my shoes, well, you've seen how I treat my shoes.
Bro,
Yeah, I've seen how you treat other people's shoes.
Yeah.
Yo, so quick story.
Quick story.
Quick story before you get to the next one. Manny once crushed Connor's Band 1 box.
So
For those that don't know, the Band 1 from
Yeah.
the outlet pairs used to come in a special box,
Oof.
and that was very cheaply made. You know, at Riff, you know, everywhere you go, every shoe store you work, and obviously if you work at a shoe store, it could get a little tense in there some days, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how him and Connor, people that remember Connor, shout out C-Taps,
See, chaps.
skinny ginger kid. Skinny
Yeah.
at that point, maybe 15 years old. Manny's always been Manny. I don't know what the fuck happened. Skate is standing like right here, and then Connor and Manny are right here. Something, they go at it for like 2 minutes. Manny smacks his Band 1 box. It says "fuck your Band 1s" and crushes his box.
Fuck.
And Skate like literally like
Pain.
squealed a little, like literally was just like in pain. So whatever, as they go at it, Connor's like, dude.
What are you gonna do?
And then whatever, as we do our end of the day, blah blah blah, and I don't know where we just look to our left and Skate's taping up the box back together.
No.
I had to
Real
bring-
homie. Real
I had
homie.
to bring it back to life, dude. If that box was like a voodoo doll, like for me, like it hurt me. It was like, oh.
That's crazy.
So what you got next?
Next is my my DS pair of Sean Witherspoon Air Maxes, 97 ones. This is the full the 1000 pair release version. So this like the box is a different material.
Yeah.
You get like all these little toys, extra laces, patches, and
The bag.
the dust bag. And there is a yellow hat, but I keep my hat separated in boxes at the house.
Yeah.
So I had a part in this shoe with all the other kind of mostly LA people.
Yeah.
Ben Baller, Franelations, Matt and Shar from San Francisco, his boy Richie, cancer
Yeah.
survivor from VA, Gomez, is it Alex too, and
Alex and Julian.
Alex and Julian,
Nast.
Nas, ASAP Nas, yeah. So there was a lot of people involved helping
And doing it.
Sean make this shoe at the gallery. I feel sorry for anybody who never got a chance to experience the gallery at round 2.
Yeah.
That place had
Movie.
so much stuff in there.
Yeah. I think we'd have to take a little break.
And then we'll
We got like a couple seconds left, and then you're gonna get more into that. All right, break.